Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Anime Mambo here, coming back at you with another episode of What If Naruto Was Like Minato, otherwise known as Return of the Flash on Wattpad. And if you want to read the story for yourself or don't like the way that I narrate things, it's totally fine. The link in the description will bring you there. The other links in the description will bring you to the Discord server or Instagram. If you want to send me something or want to message me in private, you can do so over there, preferably on Discord, but Instagram is fine too. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. I try to respond to all comments, heart all comments, and like all comments when I see them. I know I apologize. I haven't been that active recently. We were on a trip. I wasn't in my state. I wasn't in my house, that's for sure. And so I wasn't able to record. Also, if you're on a Discord server, you know my phone was broken, so I couldn't record either. So I apologize for that. It wasn't intentional, and I'm trying to get back on the grind. Also, if you haven't noticed, we have a new thumbnail for the series. I lost the old thumbnail, so I had to make a new one. Also, new style of video you'll see later on, and I hope you enjoy. If you do enjoy, leave a comment. If you don't enjoy, or if you have a comment, like a critical comment that you would like to make about it, it's totally fine. Leave it in the comment section. I accept all criticism, and I appreciate your guys' support, honestly. We're almost at 2,000, and I'm hoping to get there before the 13th of September, which is my birthday. So I'd appreciate it if we could clear 2K before then. And yes, so in the spirit of keeping this long-winded speech as short as possible, without further ado, cue the intro, please. Alright, so without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. And again, I hope you enjoy the changes that I've made. And I'm sorry if the audio quality goes down. The microphone's broken. There's not much I can do about it for a little while. So I hope that you can bear with me. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into it. Tsunade took a few deep breaths to calm herself down. When she was ready, she raised a slightly shaking hand and knocked the door 3 times. "Enter!" The same raspy old voice that she had heard since her Genin days, full of wisdom, gave the command. Tsunade opened the door and was greeted with what she should have expected, but still filled her with a strange amount of relief and nostalgia. Sarutobi Hiruzen was sitting at the Hokage's desk, doing paperwork. His eyes lifted and widened in surprise. He slowly put down his writing brush and stood up, never wavering his eyes from Tsunade. When he spoke, his voice conveyed suffering and relief at the same time. Tsunade. Tsunade herself was finding it hard to rein in her tears. It hit her once again. If it hadn't been for Naruto, Hiruzen would not have been standing here right now. He would have either been in the hospital or worse, buried in a grave 6 feet under the ground. I'm back, Sensei, Tsunade said as she gave the old man a watery smile. It seemed that she had missed him more than she had thought. Sarutobi was more than just a sensei to her. He had been more like a father to all of her teammates. He nurtured them with his own 2 hands. He might have been tough, but at the end of the day, he treated Team 7 like his own children. To her surprise, he laughed hard, and Jiraiya and the Anbu in the room stared open-mouthed, for that was the heartiest laugh they had heard from the Hokage in years. Finally, when he stopped laughing, he said, "I'm so happy to see you back, Tsunade." He gave the signal to his guards to give them some privacy. Once they had left, he sealed the room completely, and then walked around the table and pulled out his secret stash of sake from the fake compartment in his drawer. Took out 3 cups and poured all of them a drink. He winked as he handed them the sake. "I normally restrain myself, but I believe this occasion calls for some celebration." Tsunade smirked as she took the cup, followed by Jiraiya. They clinked their cups together and drank it all in one gulp, with Tsunade giving it an approving nod. "Nice sake." Hiruzen smirked. "Being Hokage has privileges, you know." Jiraiya sighed happily as he refilled the drink once again. "I should have invited the Gaki to drink with us, after all." He winked at his teammate. He performed his first S-rank mission quite impressively. Hiruzen made a sound of realization. "Ah, yes! We should have called him too, to celebrate his first successful mission as a Jonin. That too, S-rank. I knew I made the correct choice in promoting him. I want your report on this, Jiraiya. I know Naruto will reach to me by tomorrow. Naruto's will reach me by tomorrow. Okay. Jiraiya nodded. "Will do, Sensei." Tsunade frowned. How do you know that his report will reach you tomorrow morning? He said that in front of us, not you. Hiruzen smiled. It's been his habit ever since he started doing missions. He always gives his report a day after the mission is completed. A very peculiar habit, if I do say so myself. I never quite found out the reason why. He walked around his table. However, he has been very consistent, so I have no reason to doubt that he wouldn't deliver it tomorrow morning. Before they could continue to catch up and discuss about Naruto, there was a knock at the door. All three of them gave the door an annoyed look, but forced Sarutobi put his sake away. Sitting back on his chair, Tsunade and Jiraiya stood in front of his desk, as there were no chairs for them to sit on. Hiruzen unsealed the privacy seals and called his Zanbu back. Once they were back in their position, he gave the order, "Enter!" Hiruzen and Jiraiya were able to keep their faces blank. However, Tsunade's tongue soured as she took in the arrivals. The elders, Hamada and Koharu, had been her least favorite people when she was a genin and chunin under her sensei. She steeled her expression as they bowed to her. "Welcome back, Tsunade-sama." They bowed. Even though the respect was shown, she still considered them highly annoyed. A pair of old senile fools completely set in their ways of thinking. They were also quite assertive, wanting their opinions to be the only decision there is, despite them only being advisors to the Hokage. They also believed that they knew best. If she remembered correctly, she would have to talk to Sensei about doing something about them. They should have retired quite some time ago. They looked above from their bow and then turned their attention to the Hokage, completely ignoring the other Sannin in the room. Of course, Jiraiya had no problem in returning the favor. He never liked them in the first place. And they fell from his eyes even more when he heard from Hiruzen just how vocal they had been against Naruto's promotion to Chunin, let alone Jonin, even if he was deserving of it. "Hokage-sama, now that Tsunade-sama is here, perhaps we should brief her on the recent happenings and news from Suna." Hamada's suggestion earned a nod from Hiruzen and a questioned eyebrow from Jiraiya and Tsunade. Hiruzen took out a scroll from his drawer and handed it to his successor. "I want to hear what your thoughts on this are, Tsunade." Jiraiya moved closer to Tsunade to read over the contents of the scroll. Both their eyebrows rose in surprise and incredulity. Incredulity? Bro, what is that a word? Yo, give me a sec. Let me. Incredulity. Is that a word? That's not a word. Incredulity. The state of being unwilling or unable to believe something. Wow, that's a word. This person's got some crazy grammar. Yo, I didn't even know that was a word. I'm tripping. Dang. Alright, my bad. I just had to double check to make sure I wasn't like geeking. I didn't know that was a word. Alright. I digress. Let's finish this one out, alright? As they finished reading, shocked looks were sent to the old Hokage, who sighed and said, "I would have already given my approval to this. I have already given my approval to this. They made an offer that would have otherwise been foolish to refuse. This is ridiculous. They can't do this to a clan head, can they?" Tsunade's eyes widened a bit at that. She had forgotten that after becoming Jonin, Naruto had essentially become clan head to Uzumaki and the Namikaze clan, in all but official capacity. She grudgingly said, "He hasn't been officially appointed as such, has yet to take his seat at the council. It wouldn't have been possible if he had been the clan head in official capacity without his permission. But since he's not, it could be. Sorry, has been done. It could be. Sorry, but it has been done. He can't refuse the order of the Hokage, Jiraiya." Jiraiya frowned, obviously not liking the notion that his sensei dictated the life of his godson like this. Naruto would now have to marry someone from another village for his duty. He would never get a shot at love on his own. But, like Tsunade said, Naruto was not in any capacity to refuse. Tsunade didn't like this as well. She had slowly taken a liking to Naruto on their way back to Konoha. She saw what kind of person Naruto was. He did not deserve to be treated like this. She racked her brain, trying to see the positive side of this. And after a few moments, a stray thought caused her to back up, and a small smile formed on her face. She faced the Hokage and the elders. The full council has agreed to this, right? Hiruzen nodded in affirmation. The elders nodded as well. Her smile turned into a small grin. She needed to double check if her sensei had thought this through from all angles or not, before making his decision. Does the council also believe that Suna is aware of Naruto's heritage? Hiruzen frowned and looked at Jiraiya in confusion, cursed mentally, and gave him an apologetic look. He turned back to Tsunade. It seems that Jiraiya forgot to tell you what's happened in the Chunin exam, Tsunade. Naruto publicly announced his heritage. It's safe to assume by now all the elemental nations know who Naruto is. Tsunade gave an annoyed look to Jiraiya, who rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Deciding that she would deal with him later, she asked them her question. Then, am I to assume that the council has also thought about the domestic ramifications of Naruto's marriage? Her grin widened, when a look of confusion passed among the elders, Jiraiya and her sensei. However, Sarutobi's eyes widened as he caught on to the meaning of her question. An expression passed over his face as he viciously cursed himself for not thinking about this sooner. But then, a grin passed over his face when he realized what it meant for Naruto. Jiraiya was a little slow to catch up, but then he too grinned when he came to the realization as her and his sensei. The elders still hadn't caught up to them. Koharu spoke for both of them. We're not sure what you mean, Tsunade-sama. With a smirk worthy to match Naruto's in deviousness, she explained. When Naruto marries, he will officially have claimed his position as the head of both Namikaze and Uzumaki clan, meaning he will inherit everything from both those clans, including funding, property, and land in those clans' possessions. That also includes the seats of both the clans on the council. Surely you realized this before sending the reply. The faces of both elders had dropped in dismay. They never realized that by marrying off Naruto, they were pushing for him to become clan head for 2 clans? How could they have overlooked something as important as this? Hiruzen was enjoying the looks on their faces as his former teammate... Oh, on the looks of his... Oh my lord. Oh my... I can't speak, guys. Talking is difficult, you know? Sometimes he can do it, sometimes he can't. The looks on his teammates' faces. That's basically it. To add into the dismay, he chuckled. Of course, I should have realized this when I appointed him as a Jonin. Hamada and Koharu's faces showed horror by now. They had completely overlooked the fact that... Wait, what? Oh, dang it. The computer... My computer's... tripping. Oh, shoot. Alright. I'm sorry, guys. My computer is kind of being weird. Alright, there we go. Hiruzen looked entirely too amused. It seems you need a moment, Hamada and Koharu. Perhaps you would like to step outside the room. Me and my students have a few things to catch up on. The elders walked out of the room in a daze. The 3 of them finally let loose their chuckles, or in Jiraiya's case, laughter. Jiraiya said as he calmed down, It's about time someone taught them a lesson. Hiruzen smirked as he looked at his students. Looks like I made the right choice in choosing my successor. You know you're worthy if you're able to outsmart them. However, the atmosphere turned serious when Jiraiya brought up another concern. However, we must not overlook the consequences of Naruto revealing his heritage. Hiruzen and Tsunade immediately caught on to what he was saying. The former had been worrying about this for a long time. Minato's enemies now had a new target to focus on. They couldn't get the revenge on the Yondaime, they had to take it out on his son. And that's like a little cut thing, kind of jazz. I can't speak. Do I want to take a little break? No, I'll be nice. All right, we're just gonna pump. You know, oh Lord, pause. We're just gonna finish this video out. I was gonna say we're gonna pump it out, but that's a pause, big mighty pause. Give me a moment. Need a drink. You guys should drink your water. Don't forget to hydrate yourselves. Also, go outside, get some, sun on your skin. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong vitamin because I think it gives you one, but I don't want to say the wrong thing and then get clowned in the comment section. I feel like that would totally happen, and I'm not down for that. You know what? All the sidetracking aside, let's get right back into the video. Naruto had flashed to his apartment and immediately disassembled his backpack. After taking a very satisfying hot shower in his bathroom, he cooked himself fish, rice, and eggs. Preservative seals were so awesome. After he finished his meal, he sat on the couch and put on a movie. He wondered what to do. After finishing an S-rank mission, it was mandatory for the shinobi to at least take a week of leave, maximum 2 weeks. However, Naruto knew he was quickly going to get bored of this, doing nothing for a week straight. He mentally recounted what he couldn't do. He was in no mood to work on seals right now. Training was out of the question. Because he had just returned from a mission, he had nothing to read, he had no video games, for he was a firm believer of that they rot your mind. You sure are wait. You sure are acting like a brat right now, you know, came the voice from within. I can't speak in a voice like that, bro. I just can't do Kurama. It's weird. Alright, my bad. Naruto rolled his eyes. Not all of us can sleep on a whim like you, Kurama. You're almost sleeping at all times when you have nothing to do. Naruto heard a scoff. Whatever, brat. What I want to say is you could seek your pineapple-headed friend for a game of shogi. Good exercise for your feeble human mind. Naruto ignored the insult as he thought about the suggestion. It was not bad at all, and he would have fun teasing Shikamaru about his added duties as well. He got up from the couch and went to his room to change clothes. A minute later, he emerged in something casual. A white long-sleeve t-shirt folded to the elbows, with dark blue jeans. Over the t-shirt, he wore a black shirt with buttons opened up. Sleeves folded till the elbows. The necklace Tsunade had gave him hung out from his shirt. All in all, he looked as cool as a breeze. That's not cool. That's corny, but whatever. He looked outside of his building and began a slow walk, having located the chakra signature of his friend in the training ground around 10. He allowed his feet to carry him as he thought about the possible changes that could happen now that Tsunade was back. On the way back, Jiraiya had once told him that Tsunade had asked Sarutobi's permission to start a medic training program. However, it was wartime, and there weren't enough shinobi to spare for the training program. Not to mention the lack of interest on the part of many shinobi. So lost he was in his thought that he failed to notice the appreciative looks from the female population that were being sent in his direction. Girls that were 8... No, I'm not saying that. No, that's ew. Those are kids. Yo, Arthur, what are you talking about? Yo. Ew, you nasty. Oh, that's ew. Nah, we're not talking about that. Yeah, I'm not reading that. Girls his age were acting shamelessly as they were checking him out. But again, he was too lost in his thought to really notice that. Yeah, I'm not reading the line above that. Nah. We not for that weirdo stuff. That's weird. Not about that action. Alright. It's hard sometimes, man. Reading is hard. Let's continue. He was about to turn towards the training ground when he sighed. This was getting very boring fast. Come out, Konohamaru. I won't tell you a second time. As soon as he shouted, a brown-haired boy darted around the corner and came running over to him. Naruto Nichan, playing ninja with me. That earned him a harsh finger flick right in the center of the forehead. Konohamaru yelped, immediately rubbing the spot. Naruto looked at his unofficial charge with some amusement. Konohamaru wanting to play ninja with him was a common request by now, but since today was a day on which Naruto had nothing to do, why not give a few life lessons to the kid, teaching him the real meaning of being a ninja? Konohamaru was immediately indignant. What was that for? I won't be playing ninja with you today, Konohamaru, came the bored reply, and then he frowned. Also, aren't you supposed to be in the academy right now? Indeed, it was only noon right now, so the young Sarutobi should have been having lunch in his class. Konohamaru crossed his arms and pouted. Iruka-sensei's lessons are boring. Naruto let out a chuckle. You aren't wrong in saying that. However, his face adopted a stern expression. That excuse is not enough for you to skip class. They're teaching you things that will allow you to survive as a shinobi. Even I found those classes dreadfully boring, but I always followed what was going on. No need to tell the kid that he skipped quite a few classes himself because of his stupidity act. Of course, he had also been way ahead of his class. Also, you should start training seriously instead of playing ninja in your free time. It's never too early for a shinobi to start training on chakra control. Konohamaru frowned. Does this mean you'll no longer play ninja with me? Naruto sighed, trying to decide how to explain this best. He looked around, thoughts running wild, when he spotted the Hokage monument. An idea sprang into his head, and without giving a warning to the kid, he grabbed his shoulder and flashed away. Konohamaru blinked when he found himself standing on the head of the Yondaime. He shrieked and backed off, only to collide with something solid. Turning around, he saw the face of Naruto looking over the village. Being a ninja is not a game, Konohamaru, Naruto said softly, looking into the eyes of his charge. Sure, kids can play, but in the world that we grow up in, it's best to not treat it as a game. He sat down, pulling the kid down with him. Konohamaru sat beside his idol and frowned, not understanding what Naruto was trying to say. What do you mean, Naruto Nichan? Konohamaru opened his mouth. Wait, what? Naruto did not look away from the village. Let me ask you something, Konohamaru. What do you think it means to be a shinobi? Konohamaru opened his mouth to answer and stopped. He thought really hard, something he very rarely did. It was obviously a question that had a deep answer. He thought and thought, but the answer was lost to him. To be a shinobi means to endure. A shinobi is the one who can follow or lead others into any darkness and work together to overcome that darkness and make it out on the other side. A shinobi walks towards danger when everyone is running away. That is because it is the duty of a shinobi to look at any foe and say, "Bring it." That's because shinobi exists to protect those who can't protect themselves. Naruto recited the same answer that Gigi had given him years ago. The answer had a deep and profound effect on him. It was one of the main reasons he pushed himself so hard every day to get strong, so he could protect his loved ones. He hoped it would have the same effect on Konohamaru. The said boy was deeply thinking about Naruto's answer. He had never thought like that, always thinking it as a game, that being a shinobi meant to throw cool jutsu around. He never imagined there would be such a deep reason behind the meaning of what a shinobi was. Only one thing came to his mind. Why are you telling me this? Your grandfather almost lost his life in the invasion. The words were like a splash of cold water on Konohamaru's spine. The announcement filled him with dread, which was visible in a violent shiver on the outside. What? How? Naruto gave an expressionless look to the boy. He acted like a true shinobi. I told you, didn't I? Being a shinobi is not a game. A Hokage less so. Konohamaru viciously tried to hold back tears upon hearing the news of his grandfather. He had never known about this. Why was Naruto Nichan telling him all of this? To teach you a lesson, came the answer, almost as if Naruto read his thoughts. I'm telling you this to teach you a lesson, Konohamaru. You want to become Hokage, don't you? At the mention of his ultimate goal, Konohamaru hastily wiped away his tears. Yeah. Naruto stood up, brushing his pants off. Then start taking your training seriously. Not too much, though. Take ample time to rest and relax so your body can appropriately recover as well. Eat healthy foods in ample amounts without hesitation. Just don't joke around when it comes to the duties of a shinobi, alright? Konohamaru stood at attention, determination coursing through him. Yes, Naruto Nichan. Naruto smiled and ruffled the boy's hair. Good, and if you need any help on how to properly train, don't hesitate to ask. Become a shinobi first, and then I'll tell you what it means to be Hokage, alright? Konohamaru smiled and nodded. He would make his brother and grandfather proud of him by becoming a true shinobi. Yes, Naruto Nichan, but don't forget. He pointed a finger at the blonde challengingly. We are rivals for the Hokage. Naruto chuckled. That's the spirit. Now let's get you back to the academy. He put a hand on Konohamaru's shoulder and flashed to the only person in the academy who had his Hiraishin seal on himself. Iruka sat annoyed at his desk as the lunch hour slowly came to an end. He had finished his lunch in the first 15 minutes and spent the rest of the hour thinking about the latest menace to his class, the grandson of the Sandaime Hokage, Sarutobi Konohamaru. The boy always made trouble for him, even more so than what Naruto did while he was in the academy. One would think that Iruka would have some experience in dealing with troublesome kids like Konohamaru because of having the resident prankster of Konoha as a former student, but no. Just as the bell rang, signaling the end of the lunch hour, he almost fell on his back while sitting in his chair when two people appeared so suddenly in front of him. After recollecting himself, his eyes widened when he recognized the two people. The short one was easy, because it was his Rampart student who had ditched class because he was too bored. The other one took a moment, because Irukuna had never seen Naruto look so cool. Naruto smiled and greeted his former teacher and brother-like figure. It had been a very long time since he had talked to Iruka. How's it going, Iruka-sensei? Well, if it isn't Naruto! Iruka was very pleasantly surprised to see his former favorite student. It had been a really long time for both of them. Iruka-sensei, I'm just here to return Konohamaru to your care. Naruto gestured to the young shinobi in making, who was looking all kinds of depressed at being stuck in Iruka's boring lecture. Of course, sudden appearance of strangers was bound to attract the student's attention, who began to excitedly chatter. It's not working. Oh, there we go. Naruto took note of this and gave an apologetic smile to Iruka. We'll talk later, okay, Iruka-sensei? I don't want to disturb your class any more than they already are. And with that, he vanished in a blue flash, leaving a dumbfounded Iruka to wonder since when was Naruto capable of doing something like that. Naruto appeared back at the head of his father. Suddenly, he didn't feel like doing anything at all. Deciding to rest for a while, he laid down, using his jacket to cover his face from the sun rays. Maybe he would just laze around today. As he drifted off, he absently wondered if this was what Shikamaru felt every day. Oh Lord, bro. There's the end of that little segment. This video is 23 minutes long. I don't want to read more, because if I read more, like, then I'm gonna want to finish more, and we're at like a really good stopping point. So I think I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm sorry about the audio issues. There's really not much I can do about it. I hope that you stay patient with me. I'm gonna try to work towards improving them in the near future. And I'm also sorry for not posting. My phone broke. There's been a lot of issues going on recently. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the new format and style of video. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I respond to all comments, heart all comments, like all comments when I see them. Also, the link in the description will bring you to the story if you would like to read it for yourself, or the Discord server and the Instagram that I made. If you want to message me in private or have something you want to say to me or send to me, you can do so over there, preferably on Discord, but Instagram's fine too. You know, maybe you can't send like a video or something on Discord, totally fine. So yeah, without further ado, this is your boy, the Anime Abu. I appreciate you guys, and I'm out. Deuces.